The Path to Gratitude. Yesterday I started making a new book called The Path to Gratitude. I really didn't know what was going to be in it when I got to the end of it and what the last page would say. I only knew where it was going to be going for me. My path to find gratitude needed to begin by truly losing myself in order to truly find myself. The first thing I wrote in the book was, in the light of gratitude, wounds become wisdom and forgiveness turns from an obligation into a gift of self-compassion. And where I got it from, I really have no idea. I once believed that being lost was the most dreadful experience. Wandering aimlessly, moving forward without a clear goal. We all yearn for a place where we truly belong, a space meant just for us. However, the key isn't in the state of being lost, but in the lessons we gain while discovering ourselves. Life is full of challenges. We all go through experiences that leave us feeling hurt, broken, and unsure about ourselves. These wounds can last for years if we don't know how to heal them, but over time I've learned that gratitude has the power to transform pain into growth. It has helped me forgive, heal, and most importantly, start liking myself. Through gratitude, I've not only been able to let go of all wounds, but also develop self-love, something I once thought was out of reach for somebody like me. In this document, I want to share how gratitude has changed my life and put me on a path towards forgiveness, healing, and self-compassion. The quote, in the light of gratitude, wounds become wisdom and forgiveness turns from an obligation into a gift of self-compassion, has somehow become a guiding principle for me. It reminds me that even the hardest experiences can teach us valuable lessons when we choose to focus on what we learn instead of the pain. Gratitude changes the way we see our struggles, turning them into opportunities for growth and understanding. Forgiveness also takes on a new meaning when we approach it from a point of gratitude. Instead of seeing it as something we have to do for others, it becomes something we can do for ourselves. Forgiving someone doesn't mean we're saying what they did was okay. It means we're choosing to release the burden of holding on to anger and hurt. And in that release, we find compassion for ourselves. Gratitude has also helped me realize that by forgiving others, I am, in fact, being kind to myself. I'm giving myself the freedom to move on, to heal, and to grow. Over time, I've seen how gratitude has been the foundation for not only healing my wounds, but also learning to truly care for myself and love who I am. Gratitude is a simple concept, but it has profound impact on the way we think and feel. At its core, I believe that gratitude is about focusing on the good things in life. It's about being thankful for what we have rather than constantly thinking about what we lack. In my journey, gratitude has helped me move away from feelings of disappointment and self-pity and toward a mindset of appreciation and positivity. When I was going through my tough times, it was easy to feel like a victim. I would ask myself, why is this happening to me? Or what did I do to deserve this? These things only made me feel worse about myself. When I started practicing gratitude, something changed. Instead of focusing on what was going wrong, I began to think about what was still good in my life. I started small. Be thankful for my health, for the support of friends and family, for the simple things like a warm meal or a peaceful moment. As I did this more and more, I noticed that my mindset began to shift. I wasn't as weighed down by negative thoughts. I began to see the good in myself and in the world around me. Gratitude helped me appreciate not only my external circumstances, but also who I was as a person. This was a huge step toward self-love. One of the biggest lessons I've learned from gratitude is that the pain and hurt don't have to hold us back. In fact, they can help us grow Every wound we experience, whatever it is, whether it's betrayal, a failure, or a loss, has the potential to teach us something important, but it's up to us to find the lesson. For a long time, I held on to my wounds. I let them define me. I would replay moments of hurt in my mind over and over again, reliving the pain over and over. It wasn't until I started practicing gratitude that I began to see these experiences differently. Instead of focusing on the pain, I started to ask myself, what can I learn from this? This question changed everything. For example, when someone in my life let me down, I used to find feelings of bitterness and anger. But when I looked at the situation with gratitude, I realized it had taught me important lessons about setting boundaries and valuing myself. I learned that I deserved better, and that realization helped me make healthier choices in the future. Every wound, no matter how painful, contains a seed of wisdom. Gratitude helps us find that wisdom and use it to grow stronger and more resilient. By turning my wounds into lessons, I've been able to move forward in life with a greater sense of purpose and understanding. Before I began practicing gratitude, I struggled with self-worth. I found it hard to like myself, especially when things weren't going well. I was my own worst critic, constantly pointing out my flaws and mistakes, but gratitude changed that. When I started focusing on the things I was grateful for, I noticed something unexpected. I began to appreciate myself more. I started to see my own strengths and the positive qualities that I had overlooked for so long. Gratitude helped me see that I was more than my mistakes or shortcomings. I was somebody worthy of kindness, love, and respect, especially from myself. This shift wasn't immediate, but over time it grew stronger. By regularly practicing gratitude, I became more aware of the good things about myself. I started to like who I was, not because I was perfect, but because I was growing, learning, and doing my best. Gratitude showed me that self-love isn't about being flawless, it's about appreciating who you are, flaws and all. And as I began to like myself more, I noticed that my relationship with others also improved. I was less dependent on external validation because I no longer needed others to tell me I was enough. Gratitude helped me realize that I was enough just as I am. This realization has been one of the most profound gifts that gratitude has given me. The more I practiced gratitude, the more I began to understand that self-love is not a destination, it's a journey like any other journey. Gratitude set me on a path by helping me appreciate who I am, not just what I have. It made me realize that I deserve to be kind to myself, to forgive myself for my mistakes, and to celebrate my growth. Self-love doesn't happen overnight. For me, it started with small acts of gratitude, acknowledging the good in my life and in myself. As I practiced this more and more, it became easier to like who I was. I stopped comparing myself to others and started focusing on my journey. Gratitude taught me that my worth isn't tied to external achievements or how others see me. It comes from within. Over time, gratitude became a daily practice and nurtured my self-esteem. Instead of criticizing myself for what I hadn't done, I began to appreciate all the things I had accomplished. I began to be kinder to myself, understanding that I was doing the best that I could with what I had. Gratitude has helped me see myself through a lens of compassion, and this has made all the difference. Gratitude has been a powerful tool for me in my journey towards forgiveness, healing, and self-love. It has transformed the way I see myself and my experiences. Instead of holding on to pain, I've learned to find the lessons in the wounds. Instead of viewing forgiveness as a burden, I've come to see it as a gift of self-compassion. And most importantly for me, gratitude has helped me start liking myself, walking the path of self-love. By focusing on gratitude, I've learned to appreciate who I am, flaws and all. I've stopped looking for validation again, as I said, from others, and started giving it to myself. I'm going to say this, I had to start high-fiving myself. Gratitude has been the key to unlocking a deeper sense of peace within me, happiness, and fulfillment in my life. If there's one message I hope to share, it's this: gratitude has the power to change everything. It can heal all wounds, strengthen self worth, and guide us towards self love. Forgiveness can feel like a heavy burden, especially when someone has hurt us deeply. In the past, I used to think that forgive myself meant I was excusing their behaviour for letting them off the hook, but I've come to realise that forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about me. It's about letting go of the anger, resentment, and pain that weigh me down. Gratitude helped me to see forgiveness in a new way instead of viewing it as something I had to do for others. I began to see it as an act of self love. By forgiving, I was choosing to release the emotional weight that was holding me back. And I wasn't doing it for anyone else, I was doing it for me. Forgiving someone doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It doesn't mean that forgetting or pretending it didn't hurt. It just means that I no longer want to carry that hurt with me. I want to be free from it, and in choosing to forgive, I'm showing myself compassion. I'm saying that my peace of mind and happiness are more important than holding on to bitterness. This shift in perspective has been a major part of my life towards self-love. Through forgiveness, I've been able to let go of the past and focus on the present. I've learned that forgiving isn't about being weak. It's about being strong enough to prioritise my own feelings and my own well-being. Put me first. Thank you for taking the time to read and listen to my story today. Thank you to Medium for allowing me to post my story today, and thank you for all of you who follow me on Medium.